Well, hey YouTube, Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango, W3CT, your good old friend Jack. Welcome back to my ham radio journey. Now guys, most of you, probably a lot of you, probably know that I'm a pretty big fan of CW operations. And today, I'm sure the title and the thumbnail gave it away anyway, but today we are getting ready to start the CQ Worldwide CW contest. Now the SSB portion of this was a while back. I didn't work any of that. I listened around a little bit and I made 0 contacts. But on the CW portion, I truly enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started talking about the contest right after this. Okay guys, so again, this is the start of the CQ Worldwide CW contest. Okay, so today is, I have my phone with me here. Well, I'm sure you know what weekend it is if you're watching this. It's November 28th and it's now 6:50 Eastern Standard Time. 6:50 Eastern Standard Time. And we're waiting for that magical hour of 000 UTC, okay, for Saturday. So let's see if I can pull this up here. Get rid of that clock, or get rid of that. So if you see at the very top, 1851 local, 2351 of Zulu time. Okay. So I've been listening to a lot of guys on YouTube. There's a guy on there, it says Q5, YouTube Q, I think it's Q5. I should know that. I watch enough of it. Anyway, he's been talking to these hams that travel to these different parts of the world to operate this contest, and they really are intense. You know, I said I'm a, what do you think about that? I'm not really a contender as much as I'm a contender, but I do want to be a contributor, and I do want to work the contest. I enjoy working it. My goal this year is, and I don't know if I'll get there, not over the 3 days, or 2 days, or 48 hours, 24, 36, whatever it is. I'm not staying up the whole time. That's kind of, you know, that's real dedication there. So, oh, I know what it is. I won't be a contender, but I will be a participant, okay? So, I am getting ready to start here. I'm just listening right now. I happen to be on 20 meters. And like I said, it'll start here very soon. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. But these guys on YouTube that travel around the world, you know, they have plans. They look at the band plans. They look at the solar, how the propagation is going to be. They know where their antennas need to be situated to make these contacts in these different parts of the world. You know, and I think that's awesome. I wish I was or knew that much about it. You know, I like to work the CW contest because I told you guys before, it will up your game on CW. You know, it will make you less scared of the rapid pace. Now, some of them, I'll be honest, some of those are so rapid, I'll never copy them. You know, I often wonder in contests, and I know it's a contest, you're trying to make as many contacts as possible. I get that. But it just seems like at times they're going like 40, 45 words a minute, you know. Some of these guys can copy it really well, I'm sure, these heavy contesters out there. And, you know, they're getting the call sign. Everything's a 599, so you don't really need the signal report. But you do need their CQ zone, okay? I happen to be in CQ zone 5, okay? So I'll be operating on CQ zone 5. I did prepare, you guys seen, I did put up my GooZeeZoo 80 through 10 meter, or 10 through 80, however you want to look at that. And the reason I wanted that antenna, even though I have my antenna to operate 40 through 10, and they're both very compatible or very comparable to each other, but I needed the 80 meter band. I could have kicked myself because I could have put a random wire up and tried to get some contacts on 160 also, just for the extra multipliers. So, like I said, I'm going to do my best, try to make contacts. My goal this year, I think I already said it, is 500. I have no idea if I hit 500 contacts. But, you know, as a casual operator, I mean, some of these guys are hitting 500 contacts per band. So, you know, hopefully. But Anyway, I'm planning here right now to start on 20 meters just to see what's going to open up there as soon as we start. Then if it slows down at all, you know, I'll go to 40 meters. Right now the beam is pointed towards Europe, so we'll see if European stations come on. Or at this time of the evening here in PA, you know, with the gray line moving across, who knows? It might be better to turn the beam out west and work that side first. I don't know. I'll play that by ear to see what I hear the most of. But yeah, I'll be bringing you back in here and there to see when this all starts up. Like I said, I'm trying to see now what time it is. I got about 5 minutes here, so I'm going to pause this. I'll bring you back here in 5 minutes. I think maybe I'll move the camera closer to the radio and let you start hearing some sights and sounds of the CQ Worldwide CW contest here for 2025. All right, let's get rolling. Okay, guys, I did want to show you. I will be using on my Mac here. I use Rumlog NG. Okay, this is the actual contest page. So you can see I just get their call sign. Like I said, everybody's a 599 anyway. I am in CQ zone 5. I'll just put their CQ zone in here, and I hit save QSO, and boom, just list them out. Then I can save this as a file and upload it once the contest is over. You can see here when I spin my VFO, it actually does track. So the CAT controls are working for the radio. Okay, so I can do that. You see I'm on CW 20 meters. You can actually switch bands right here too, just that rapidly. I've never really done that. I just switch them at the radio. But anyway, so we are getting ready to roll here. As you see, I got the rotor. And so let's take it. We're going to turn it back out into Europe, I think is where I'm going to start. And we'll work our way back. Plus, if you're out in Europe, you should be going long path anyway, right over, you know, Europe and out into the other side of the ocean there somewhere. I don't know. So this is actually moving the HexBeam around. Okay. Okay, we're at 59. There it is. Alright guys, I'm getting underway to start making some contacts here. So I'll bring you back out through the contest and let you know how I'm doing and where I'm at. But there you go, the start of 2025. CQ Worldwide CW contest. Alright, let's go right now. Okay guys, well you can see I'm still in 20 meters here. And again, I think my overall goal for this contest, I said before, I set it too high. My goal, because of the speed of these call signs coming through, is probably going to be more like, if I can make 100 contacts, I think I'd be okay with 100. But man, I tell you what, listen how fast. The last letter there was a T, but it takes me a while to catch them. And then you're calling. There's so many stations calling them, and the pileups are so great that you just can't get through. I was actually using QRZ because what I need to do as I'm going through these things is I need to look up the bearings and see where to put the hex beam so I can try to get more into them. But guys, I am not crushing it at all. If you look at this, 9 contacts in, well, an hour. We've been going for an hour already. 9 contacts. That's I do better on a POTA activation. But anyway, hey, 276 total points. 23 QSO points and 12 multipliers already. So, there's some great countries coming through. I'm getting a lot of countries, but a lot of activity. But yeah, this is usually not the way to run a contest, I think. All right, but yeah, so my goal is for this contest, uh, anyway, unassisted. I'm not going to use any assistance. I'm just listening to call signs, spinning the dial, picking them up, and putting them into the log. So if I can get them, but like I said, the pileups are so bad right now. I'm not complaining. I'm having fun. It's fun just tuning around, listening, and trying to get in and keep working people. So again, I'm still in 20 meters, and we're still moving along. But yep, 1 hour in, and we'll see how we go here. Okay, guys, so I have to say I'm happy that I put the GooZeeZoo 10 through 80 meter antenna up, but I'm kicking myself right now because it's going to be 35 degrees today, and I wanted to get a random wire out to be on 160. But it was really nice this morning to get, and if you can see this, I don't know how. Yeah, I think we're pretty focused. 80 meters total QSOs right now is 18. So I've been up since 4 a.m. working 80 meters. Now I did stop just recently for breakfast, so I have that. But 18, nothing fantastic, and that's not really a great hourly rate. That's about an hour. It is now 6:51, and I'm still sitting on 80 meters, if you can see this right here. There's still a lot of activity on the waterfall, so I'm going to go back to 80 meters, try to make some more contacts. I'd like to have at least 25 on 80. And then I have to consider today of putting a random wire outside to get on 160, maybe late tonight or tomorrow morning, just to make some more contacts on another band. Once the sun comes up, I'm planning on going to 10 meters. I'll get to 10. I'll get to 10 and 15. So I got 20 meters already. We only got 19 right now, 20, but we'll get more of those today. 40 meters, we only got 6. And then 80 meters, we got 18. We're at 3,645 points, which I know a lot of you guys out there are like, oh, Jack, that's nothing. But you know what? This is a very casual working environment here. I haven't been on full time. Maybe spent a total of so far, I don't know, maybe 3 hours or so actually working the bands. All right, so I'm going to go back and do some more work and see how this goes. All right, guys, just bringing you back in here, let you know what's going on here. So I've been on for total working time so far. Total working time so far has been 3 hours. I've been on and off. My wife is going away there for the week, so saying goodbye to her, and having breakfast and such. But yeah, total time is 3 hours. It's now 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The one thing I can tell you, if you work a contest like this, no matter how you receive their calls, the one thing I can tell you is make sure you can hear your call sign at rapid speeds. Now I did, figure instead of using the paddles to send, I am using the keyboard. And as I explained to my wife, the reason I am, and the reason so many people do, is not so much just for speed, it's more for accuracy, right? You're going to get fatigued when you're using your key. I don't care who you are. Some of you out there could be really, really good, and I'm sure you do a great job. I watch one guy on YouTube. He does an amazing job just copying and using his key to send back, back and forth, back and forth. But the keyboard is dead on. It doesn't have any fatigue in it. And you're getting your call sign back. You're getting your CQ zone and everything properly to the station because there's no time to waste with these guys. They're operating a contest to win. You want to give them points, and you're trying to score. I mean, so far I got 64 contacts. Right now you can see 15 meters is a great run. So I'm right here. I got the beam about southwest right now, the HexBeam. So, but you know what? I'm tearing up stations, guys, all over Europe, and the beam's actually pointing away from Europe. Europe is more over here for me, right? So, but anyway, I just wanted to bring you back and give you an update there. So I'll let you know how it goes. But again, 15 is A-OK. I also had good luck on 15 during field day activations this past year. All right, I'll bring you back in, let you know where I get to. But yeah, it's I'm working casual, so I'm getting what I can get. But I have goals in mind, and we'll see how we get there, if we get there. All right, I'll see you then. Okay, guys. Well, 4 hours in, I finally hit the number 100 spot here with K4 PV, and he's in the same CQ zone. Yeah, finally hit 100. So, and I know you're saying, Jack, 4 hours, my God, you should have like, 1,000. But you know what? This is very casual, I said, and I'm just enjoying myself for today. When I get up here, I just took a break, had some lunch, but yeah, so 15 meters is still pounding out here, and I'm gonna work some more 15 meters. Right now I got 51 QSOs on 15. I did not put up a 160 meter antenna today. It's just too cold to be outside, so I didn't do it, and I know I'm going to regret it, so I'd like to have at least one QSO at 160, but that's all right. There's the K4 PV I just worked right there. All right, guys, I'm going to go back to it here and try to work some more stations. Good luck to you if you're out there working. Or I'm sorry, I hope you had good luck, because you'll be seeing this well after the contest. All right, later. Okay, guys, sitting back here on 20 meters. It's now 7:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep, I did go to bed. And I didn't work, 48 hours of contesting. I don't know. And you know what? Bless all those people out there that can do it, because that is 1 ton of CW work. But anyway, I'm pretty proud right now because, look, I just hit, you see this? I just hit 200 this morning with PA1T, which gave me 3 extra points here. So that's great, Total point score right now, I'll show you where I'm at anyway, is 62,400 total points. Total QSOs so far, like I said, is 200. And I've been working a total on time of 8.5 hours, which is under last year's time. But I still have not met last year's score. But I'll give that to you at the end of this video. What I have now, or what I've completed throughout the day today, which is Sunday, and what I had last year, and we'll see if we did any better. But yep, I'm getting back to it because the DX is rolling. The biggest thing about this contest, and the reason I probably don't have more QSOs, is waiting for the DX stations to hear you, because there's so many people calling them. All right, guys. Well, good morning, and I'm getting back to 20 meters on the HexBeam, pointed out and towards Europe. All right, back to it. Okay, guys, another milestone this morning. If you can see this, I hit 300 QSOs. And I've been operating a pretty long time, not 48 hours, but look, operator time on, about 12 hours. So it says 12.1. But look, I've been off for 27 hours. So in 12 hours, total operating time, 300 calls, it's not bad. I mean, it's not a great pace probably to some people out there, but I am very, very happy with this pace. So, but I think right now, it is now 11:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I've been in this chair since about 6:30 this morning, I guess, 6 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to take a break, get out of here. But look at 15 meters. If you look here at 15 meters, I got 94 QSOs on 15. On 10, I got 90. And it's funny, on 20, I haven't been on 20 much, but I got 33. So an 80 meter, the GooZeeZoo, I wouldn't have had an extra 29 calls on 80 meters if I didn't have that antenna up in the air. So, all right, like I said, I'm going to take a break, and I'll let you know where I get to, and see if I get any more calls today in. But I'm pretty happy right now with 300. That's very positive. All right, I'll chat to you in a while. All right, guys, this is winding down to the CQ Worldwide CW contest. Everybody worked the 48 hours. It's just amazing that you can do that. I worked a total of roughly 12 and a half hours of the contest. I'll give you my final roundup of my scores compared to last year's score at the end of this video when I break it down for you. But we're going to start seeing the band close out here. The band shutting down for another year. A lot of people are wrapping it up. Congratulations to all the folks out there when the scores come out to the winners. I know you fought hard. I know I worked a lot of you. I worked a lot of stations on multiple bands, which was really cool. But yeah, you can see it's closing out. That's it. They're wrapping it down. Everything's closing up. Look at that. The bands just went dead. The bands are now back to the POTA operators of the world. But guys, it's been a very honor to work all the stations out there. I had a great time for my, like I said, roughly 12 and a half hours of work time, on and off. I mean, I didn't sit here steady for 12 and a half hours. I got a very impressive score for myself. Maybe not overall, and we'll talk about that when we wrap this video up. But thanks again to everybody out there that worked the CQ Worldwide CW contest. And there's some fantastic CW operators out there. But, yep. So let me close this out, and we're going to wrap this video up. And I'll give you my final scores and my final thoughts. And I'll even give you the breakdowns of the total QSs I had per band, and tell you how well the HexBeam actually worked, the NA4RR HexBeam. All right, guys, I'll talk to you when we wrap this up. Okay, guys, well, if you made it this far, then you made it to the end of the video. Contest is over, and, you know, I had a lot of fun working it. It is a very, very extremely rapid-paced contest, and I know these guys, I think Forrest said it best. I seen he threw up a short, and he said, you know, these are the absolute best CW operators in the world competing in this contest. It's unbelievable to me how many there are. You know, people that can copy code at 40, 50 words a minute, or 35 to 50, whatever they were sending. It's extremely fast. That's good and bad. I was telling my wife that I think it alienates a lot of people that, you know, not really, you're not alienating, you're alienating a lot of POTA people, matter of fact, because most POTA and SOTA operators that I've listened to are between 15 to 20 words per minute, is, you know, where they're comfortable copying or sending even. And these guys, and I don't know if they're computer copying these calls or how they're copying this stuff, but some of it's like, and it's like, what is that, you know? Or maybe they're just head copying it that fast. But and to those people out there, if you see this video and you worked the 48 hours, man, you guys are amazing to be able to do that, first of all. I have a hard time at field day. You know, I can't stay awake for the 24 hours that we work field day. I have to get a good snooze in to go back and get on the key again. So, but it was exciting. I had fun, and I didn't work it for a full 48 hours. And, you know, because as I told my wife, I had to take breaks. The most POTA activation I ever did in one day was 75 contacts in one setting. I did actually beat that during this contest in one sitting. And I'll tell you, you did see the breakdown already. I can say, you know, thanks again to GooZeeZoo for sending out the 10 through 80 meter antenna. Guys, if you need a 10 through 80, the price is not bad, and it did perform well. And I did have a chance to compare it next to my 10 through 40 meter, my antenna. They were comparable, but I think my antenna on 40 meters, I made more contacts on that than the GooZeeZoo. But the GooZeeZoo was nice because I needed an 80-meter antenna. That's why I hung it. And I did, as you've seen the counts, I did make some contacts on 80 meters. I can't say 80 meters in the middle of the night. The signals are pretty strong. Not a lot of DX stuff that I found. A lot of stateside contacts were made on 80 meters. One thing I tried to do, I tried to call CQ for a while and just open my station up to people coming in. That was a disaster. And the reason was people should match your speed. I was sending CQs out at 22 words a minute, okay? People should try to match it. And I know it's a contest, and I know they're trying to go fast, right? But they were coming back to me at like 30 and 35, and I couldn't copy the call, and I lost the contact. And I didn't mean to make anybody mad, but if somebody's calling CQ, even on POTUS, guys, if somebody's calling CQ, I worked one today. The guy was working probably about 12 words a minute. I turned the keyer down, and I called him so he can understand my call. We've all been new, right? I'm still considered myself to be a new CW operator. I'm by no means one of the ones like Forrest said, the greatest ops in the world. That's not me. But I held my own. I worked the stations, and what I found I did was I tuned up and down the band. So especially on 10, 15, and 20 meters, I turned to HexBeam. I started in Europe, and then I slowly turned it. Funny thing is, I got no Asian stations. So I got nobody in Asia, nobody like in Japan, nobody in, Korea. None of those stations, probably not Korea, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I even turned the beam over, and I thought, well, I'll surely hear them. I don't know if my antenna's not up high enough. I just don't know what happened there. The conditions weren't right to get them. I have no idea, but I didn't work any. All right, final breakdown I want to give you. I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to end this video out for you. I know you don't want it to be too long. In 2024, and it's kind of funny, in 2024 and then in 2025, I operated the same amount of hours. Both times are shown that I operated 13 total hours out of the 48. In 2024, I made 226 QSOs. My total points in 2024 was 81,640, okay? Which you think, Jack, that's not a lot. But I still ranked for this area for running 100 watts. I actually run 80 watts, but regardless, let's say up to 100 watts. In CQ Zone 5, last year, for a single op, they broke it all down, and maybe it was even a smaller area than that, but I was number 10 out of how many, I don't know. But I thought that was pretty good. So this year at the start of this video, I'm very transparent. I had at the start of this video, my goal was 500, and boy, that was a huge goal. I mean, you can make it if you put more hours in, and if you can listen all that time. You could definitely make it and give yourself the weekend. And maybe if I did 24 hours, maybe that's my goal for next year, just work 24 hours. But in 2025, in this particular contest, I again worked 13 hours, which I thought, that's pretty wild that it was the same amount of hours. But I made 333 QSOs. So 333. Okay. Now these are all preliminary. None of this stuff is confirmed yet. This is just me coming off. What I mean by confirm, when you upload your logs, they run all your logs against all the other logs. They get this magical algorithm to make sure that when you contacted, say, a guy in the Ukraine, not the Ukraine, let's go further over. Well, let's say you talked to a guy in Puerto Rico, he sent his number, his CQ zone, maybe you copied it wrong, something happened, and they don't jibe, then you lose that call, okay? Or you have his call sign wrong, or if they have your call sign wrong. So I listened very closely when they call your call sign back, and I sent it again a couple times just to clarify it, and then they send it back and they have it. But 333 QSOs. My total point score this year, which extremely made me very happy. Again, it's nothing to be, nothing crazy, but I think, my buddy Tom, N3WS, you compete against yourself, right? Like I said, I like to be a participant, but I'm definitely not a contender to win. But I upped my score, guys, and that really, really pleased me. So remember, last year was 81,640. This year's score was 157,872, okay, with 333 QSOs, again at 13 hours. So can I make it 500? I don't know. It all depends what kind of state of mind you're in. If you can listen to that much CW for a longer period of time, maybe next year, right? There's always next year to work it again. So guys, but I appreciate if you've seen this much of the video. Thank you very much for watching. To the folks that's been commenting saying, Jack, I try to get to CW and I'm doing it, but I just can't get it. Don't be defeated. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Don't let it defeat you. You know, CW is one of this, it's just like a language. If I was trying to learn French, I'd probably be saying the same thing. I just don't get it, right? Or Germany, or so what I'm saying is CW is a language. It's a different language, okay? Start listening to your CW, and my good friend Bill, and I'm trying to think of his calls. Anyway, Bill from Bill's Park, you know, the one I told you about, which used to be called Raccoon, but now we renamed it Bill's. He told me he has a hard time writing it now because he listens to the rhythm. He can hear the rhythm of the letters or numbers coming through. Once you get to that point, that's where you're trying to get. Quit counting dots and dashes. Listen to the rhythm it makes, like a V. You know, a V, right? Or you. Right? Think of it as a rhythm, and I think you'll start learning it a little bit faster. Bill also said throw the pencil away. I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to when I rag chew. I'm listening more and putting the words together, but I still have a pen next to me here and a piece of paper just in case. But guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing to these videos. Hopefully it was interesting. I just wanted to give you some clips and pieces in and out. Not so much of me operating the contest because, again, it's so fast and I'm trying to concentrate on that and not worry too much about the video. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's the way it worked out. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, why not? Hit that subscribe button. I'd be very pleased to have you on board here with the community. And until next time, guys, take care, everybody. This is Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango, W3CT, your good old friend Jack, up here in the Jack Shack, closing the video out. And I'll be talking to you next time. I never know what I'm going to put together to record, but I hope it's interesting. Take care. 73s, again, I hope to catch you on the airways. Take care, and bye for now.